Hello, welcome back. This is video number 3. We're going to do some, well, they're called Moink Balls with this homemade mince. I actually made that with some stewing stick myself. I'm going to wrap the balls with this streaky bacon, which I got from Asda. It's the finest range. And we're going to inject the balls using this little meat injector with some, well, you can use any liquor you want really, but I just happen to have some of this Jack Daniels and some of this Fireball. Actually, it's not Jack Daniels, it's Jim Beam, sorry. So yeah, we're going to inject the balls with those. So we're probably going to get about 6 balls from the amount of meat that I've got here. There might be a little bit left over, but I think 6 should be about enough for my needs. So you can see I've got my tin foil there, just keeps the surface cleaner. It's more hygienic, and when we've done, we can just wrap the balls up and put them in the fridge for when we're ready to cook. So the key with this, I think, I remember before when I first did these, I compressed the mince a little bit too hard, and it tends to make the meatballs a little less juicy. They tend to be too compact, if you see what I mean. So when you're doing this, try not to compact the mince too tightly. Obviously it wants to be tight enough so it's not going to fall apart on the grill, but it also wants to be you know, soft enough or loose enough to not get too hard and to be a bit chewy basically. So there's 6 balls, and the bacon is just going to be wrapped around each ball, just stretched around the meatball. Dead easy to do. It's probably going to take about 3, maybe 4 slices of bacon. You notice I'm just pulling that around to stretch the bacon a little bit, just to give it a little bit of tension, and that way it's not going to just fall off all over your counter. So just going to do all 6 of these the same way. Just wrap it around one way, then wrap it around the opposite way like that, and then you can see I'm squeezing it there. I actually probably squeezing this a little bit too tight. Try and keep that meat, or the mince, as loose as you can. Don't put too much compression on it, because it can make them a little bit tough and less juicy. So that's the first one done. So I'm going to do all 6 of these, and then we'll come back for the next bit. Okay, so that's all of the bacon put on there. This is the bacon I actually used. It's from Asda, just the extra special range. They've got a couple of different types. This particular one is oak smoked bacon, and it's pretty tasty, just a sandwich. So now we're going to go and get our syringe, and this is for injecting meat. I got it off Amazon. They're really easy to find. They're really good bits of kit. You can do it on brisket and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to take the first lot of whiskey. It can be a bit fiddly, these things. I may have a little bit tight on the bottom. I'm going to loosen the end of that the syringe, and then just try and keep the meat above you, because you can see it spilling all over the place. But a little bit of practice, just try and keep the meat above and inject up over. I'm actually doing that a little bit differently to the way I'm describing it, but it does actually work better if you have the meat above and just inject it that way. And as you're injecting, slowly pull the syringe out, otherwise you're just going to end up pushing the whiskey straight through the meatball. I'm just going to go ahead and do these 6 balls. I'm going to do 3 with the Jim Beam, and I'm going to do 3 with the Fireball whiskey. Gives it a different flavour. You can use any whiskey you want really, depends what you like. I actually got this recipe from the Barbecue Pit Boys, who do some really good videos. Not sure why they call them Moink Balls, whether it's a British thing or an American thing, I'm not sure. I've heard them called Meatballs, I think, as well. Different kinds of things, but you know, so just look at that tin foil there. I've got my gloves on, just saves getting stuff all over the place, and it makes it easy to clear up. And as I say, there's the hygiene thing as well, which I'm always trying to be as hygienic as possible. So we're going to do all these balls, and then once we've done the meatballs, we're going to wrap them up in the tin foil, just set them aside until we're ready to put them on the grill. So as you can see, I'm squeezing this a little bit. I'm probably overdoing that a little bit, to be honest with you. As I say, if you squeeze them too much, you're going to compress the meat a little bit too much, and you're not going to have as a juicy meatball as you would probably like to have. But as I say, this is barbecue for beginners, and we're constantly learning, so we're learning together, I guess. It's trial and error, and just passing on stuff I've picked up, you know, to help you learn from my mistakes, if you like. So that's the last one getting injected now, and then I'm going to wrap these up and put them to stand by, ready for the cook. Right, that's the balls done. So I'm just going to wrap these up in the tin foil, and like I say, we can leave these in the fridge. Probably leave them overnight if you wanted to, but I'm going to stuff these for maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. So the meat I've got left, I'm just going to make a couple of burgers rather than just letting the meat waste. You could freeze this, I guess, or you make burgers and freeze them. So again, just going to make these in the disc shapes. The less you work with the meat, I find, the better. The more you mess around with it, the tougher it can be. So you want to keep it as loose as you can. Notice I'm just putting a little kind of pressing in the middle of the burger there, because you find when the burgers cook, if you just left them flat, the meat in the middle actually expands, so you can end up like a dome-shaped burger. So if you press a little like a thumbprint in the middle, you find when your burgers cook, they'll end up just being flat across the top rather than having it like a raised dome. Something I didn't mention was the meatballs I just did. If you want to, you can stick a little bit of cheese inside the middle of them, and that melts. It's a nice little addition to it as well. A bit of mozzarella, a bit of cheddar, whatever you want. So I'm just making, there's probably enough meat left for 3 burgers. I'm just going to probably cook the burgers alongside the meatballs when I get them on the grill. And always something extra to have in case any extra people turn up unexpectedly. You've got a little bit more meat to feed them. Or I can just be a complete pig and eat them myself later on. But I don't like to waste the meat. You can freeze them, as I say, if you don't want to cook them, but I like to keep things fresh. Well, this is barbecue for beginners, and it's also videoing for beginners, so the video didn't work for some reason. So you can see the finished meatballs on there with a few chicken legs and the burgers that I made as well. Just put them on the grill, probably in direct heat for about maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and then just put them over direct heat to crisp them up. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Next time it's pulled pork. Join me then. Thanks.